What? What? Good morning, everybody. The Dallas Cowboys made a trade. The Dallas Cowboys just added George Pickens from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we have some things to talk about, don't we? This may be a case of is it the hot dog or is it the bun?
Now this is a hot dog bun.
I think it's a hot dog too.
So there's going to be some positive to talk about, and maybe there's going to be some negative. But what we're going to start with here is that George Pickens is on the Cowboys, and there's two things that matter to me about this. Two things that we're going to start with, and then we might get to two more things, and maybe two more things. There could be six things, two, and two. The first thing that I want to get to is salute to the Cowboys. I appreciate any sort of evidence that the way they are moving is because they think they can win. That's what I'm looking for. And I haven't seen a lot of that this offseason. The way they moved this offseason was incredibly boring, safe. We're just cruising through this and filling spots on the roster. The fact that you looked at the big weakness on your roster and you're taking a big old swing at it. Salute, Jerry. I appreciate it. And shout out to Trevor, who says I'm a handsome 7 a.m. Jeff. Yeah, I'm reading a book called The 5 a.m. Club, but I've shifted it to the 6 a.m. Club for me because we're just going to slow roll into this thing. But I tell you, the wee hours of the morning are it's a nice time for peace and reflection and growth. Shout out to Jerry actually doing something. I love it. I love it. I love it. Aggressive is fun. And boy, if there ain't going to be nothing else from this will be fun. Clay's in the super chat talking about Savone Revel. So that's fun. Thanks, Clay, for being here. So George Pickens last year with the Steelers was the only guy that teams had to worry about, and he had a hammy deal. So you are talking about a legit 1,200-yard receiver going into the final year of his rookie deal. And I like that the Cowboys with this move are doing two things. One, they're saying, we do think that we're good enough to win something. We have a big enough weakness that we have to do something about it, and we're going to do something about it. That's great. We love it. George Pickens fit with the Cowboys offense. We love it. If you are looking for the ideal, I could just line up out here, and whoever lines up in front of me, my favorite thing about George Pickens at Georgia is that he was an a-hole. If a guy lines up and the play's away from him, and they snap the ball and the corner's half-assing it, Pickens will just throw him on the ground. Being an a-hole is fun in football, except when, and this is what George Pickens is going to come with, you go over the line a lot and you don't have a great handle on your emotions and you break rules and you get fined a bunch and sometimes you're late to stuff. Whatever. George Pickens got some stuff, right? But the physicality, the aggression, the fact that, yes, I'll be happy to go out here and line up on the line of scrimmage. That dude's going to play press. Guess who is bigger, stronger, more aggressive, and going to win this fight on a down in and down out basis? The answer is George Pickens. That fits perfectly when you want CeeDee Lamb to be the chess piece that moves around before the snap. George Pickens, perfect fit for the Cowboys offense. You can throw the contested ball to him. You know who I think of when I think of the guy who could line up out there, win battles at the line of scrimmage, fight down the field, and then come down with a football for you? I think of Michael Gallup when he was healthy and younger. George Pickens is better than that. Same vibe, where it's not that he's an explosive stop-and-go athlete going to get huge separation. That wasn't Michael Gallup, and that's not George Pickens. But the level to which I will win your football, I will win off the line of scrimmage, I will create space for myself because of how strong I am and how much – there's just I don't know the exact way to quantify it, but you've all seen it because you're Cowboy fans, that Dez had it, that's my ball. It's not yours. If you give us both a chance, it is me. It is not you. There's just a sense of I am entitled to that ball and you're not, and watch me go take it from you. That's to a higher level than you had with Michael Gallup that now you get with George Pickens. So I love the aggression. I love the recognizing your weakness. I love the fit in the offense. And you'll notice that I am only talking about things that occur between the white lines on the football field because those are the things that I really like about this. The thing that I like and don't like is I am a fan of once you have done something and you have begun to see the results of it, don't stop yourself from doing something else when you know what you've already done is not going to be a win. And I do not intend, I don't mean to, I'm not writing off anyone when I talk about Guyton at left tackle. People think that I'm too mean to him sometimes. I don't mean to be. The evidence we have so far is you would much rather someone else be playing left tackle if you're trying to win something this year. Come to practice, work, get better, and come help us. Trading a 4 for Jonathan Mingo and then trading a 3 for George Pickens is not ideal. It's not ideal. But I appreciate that you didn't let the fact that you had already done something stop you from doing something that'll make you better. Admitting whoops and continuing on and making another deal, good. Good for you. Now let's try to remember that. I talked about this yesterday on the show. DLS Cowboys podcast, which will be live today at 11 o'clock. Don't you miss it. Make sure you're subscribed to the youtube.com/@DLLS Sports. We go 5 days a week for an hour, even when there's nothing going on. That's how much we care. What was I talking about? ADHD, baby. Yeah, so I appreciate that they didn't let Pickens stop them, but I want them to remember that if you're going to trade mid-round or better picks, you know, because of your own history, Dallas Cowboys, what can be gotten for 4th, 5th, and now a 3rd round pick. You know what you can get. Proven good at football dudes. Stop throwing the Hail Marys with 4th and 5th round picks. Stop with Trey Lance. Stop with Jonathan Mingo. Stick in the Stephon Gilmore, Brandon Cooks, George Pickens area. Get the dudes who you know can play. Stop doing weird Hail Marys on guys that you liked a half decade ago. So now we get to George Pickens. Who's gone, Tolbert or Mingo? Neither one is gone. It's just a matter of now, neither one is going to have to be more than you're comfortable thinking they actually are on a football field. Ecuador man with one of my favorite parts about this story. George Pickens is going into the last year of his rookie deal. His agent is Micah Parsons, same agent. The same one that Jerry went out of his way to swerve across 6 lanes of traffic for no reason. One of the most powerful agents in the NFL, David Mulligetta, and say, I don't even know his name. I don't deal with the agents. Well, you about to. Randy's in the chat. Sean said on the fan that Dak told Jerry the number 2 receiver can't be whoever's on the road. Well, wait, we've been Ted. How many times we got to say it before allegedly Dak can say it to Jerry? We told Jerry. I'm taking credit for that. I told Jerry. Some person. Do you feel loved by the Cowboys today? I do, because another thing is that, as I said, the DLS Cowboys podcast that I do for worky work is that's an hour a day, 5 days a week, even when there's nothing going on. Like, we're right now in the period where it's normally tough. I like content. I like stuff to talk about. Well, we got some now. We got George Pickens. So now it's like, okay, but don't forget to factor this in. I like good football players. I want good football players on the team because I want to win at football. And I think it's easier to do if my guy's better than your guy. You go ahead and deal with some stuff. Because every time you're excited about what you traded for, don't forget the other side of the coin, which is the question, why Pittsburgh do that? Last year, they had one good wide receiver, and it was him. And they saw that makes it tough on an offense. They trade for DK Metcalf, and then they get rid of their one good receiver, and they're signing up for that roller coaster ride again. Why? Because he's going in the last year of his deal, and they didn't want to keep him because they didn't want to deal with him. I was checking out the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette this morning and my guys at Steelers Depot, and it's just the same thing over and over. Got to coddle them on the field. Got to coddle them off the field. Going to be late to stuff. Might miss stuff. Going to get dumb penalties. Going to get fined a bunch. Can't hurt your team. Not going to necessarily fit in the mold of, hey, the Cowboys are drafting all of these team captains and all of these guys that are great football character. No, you had to deal with some stuff. You might deal with some stuff. And it's possible that you just traded a 3rd-round pick for a rental and you're going to go 9-8, finish 2nd or 3rd in the NFC East, and then he's going to walk because your team doesn't want to deal with him either. Plus, he's on the cusp of free agency, so why would he feel pressured to sign something that's under market value? So, yeah. Don't forget that part. That part's part of it. That part's part of it. Now let's go get Chubb, and we are cooking from Beats Guy. Yeah, sure. I don't mind that. Oh, my God. Jordan Lewis. Jordan Lewis just tweeted. He quote tweeted Schefter on the trade of George Pickens and said, confirmation, God wanted me in Jacksonville. Basically, I believe saying I didn't need to be there with him. So, yeah. I mean, we can pretend that everything's perfect. The Cowboys got this awesome player and that it's going to be a really smooth ride and the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl. And that's fine. I don't want to take that from anybody. It might get a little bumpy, but that's the way it goes. Great. Draft all the team captains you want. If I have a glaring weakness until I get to that part of the roster and the guy that I'm going to add isn't in the exact same vein as all of the other guys, fine. Go ahead. Night 405. Why is it always RKG, right kind of guy, until wide receiver? Lewis. Oh, yeah, Lewis and Pickens did get into it. They absolutely got into it. I forgot about that. Yeah, but yeah, Pickens is not the most mature person of all time. I'll say that. Is that fair? He's not the most mature person of all time. 3rd and 5th, and the Cowboys get a 6 back. So, I mean, that's not nothing to give up. That's something to give up. And the talent is there. And if we can get him with the sports psychologist and get him squared away and get him signed. Now, I don't know. We'll see. I think it's hilarious that it's the exact same agent that Jerry Jones said, I don't know his name. It's the same agent that Micah Parsons has that you're now going to be dealing with the guy going to the last year of his contract. But the last year of his contract, if you don't get something done, could be great for this year. But the only thing is when people say that, I'm going to argue with myself real quick. Like last year of his rookie deal, wants to get paid, going to be on his best behavior. That's fine to say in theory. But guys who are the emotional reactor, and don't take this as me talking terrible about somebody because we all have done it or do it. And I started maturing at about 40 years old and George Pickens is like 24 or something. The guys who are the snap emotional reactors that make poor decisions in those moments, it's not going through your brain, yeah, but it's my contract year when you're in those scenarios. It's a snap. It is your inability in a moment of emotional reaction to process and react instead of responding, or respond instead of reacting. You're reacting. That doesn't go away because it's a contract year. So now what we got to do is we got to take George Pickens and we got to put him next to Dak. And Mike is going to have to move. By the way, I can't wait to watch Micah Parsons and George Pickens during training camp. I think we're going to probably have some scraps. So I love the fit. I love what it says about the Cowboys wanting to win. I love addressing your biggest need or one of your biggest needs and not doing it with a half-ass measure. This is a whole-ass move. It's as whole-ass as you could go. I like those things. There might be some bumps. There might be some hiccups. But we got wide receiver too, by God. We talk about culture. We brought in George Pickens. That's what I'm talking about. And the reason you take that chance at wide receiver is because, I want the super mature, squared away, professional, high football character guys pretty much everywhere. But if you got to go out there and deal with cornerbacks, they're psychos too. Let the cockiest dudes who line up out here and go one-on-one, let them be a little different. Let them be a little different. Yeah. According to Pittsburgh people, is he going to be Des Bryant style late to stuff? Yeah. Maybe miss something? Yeah. Maybe getting a tussle on the field cost you 15 yards? Yeah. Probably get himself fight? Yeah. Those are the things that he did. And Mike Tomlin is the only dude that can deal with these wide receivers, by the way. Antonio Brown, once he left, head case. Deontay Johnson, once he left, head case and can't do anything to help anybody at football anymore. George Pickens, Schottenheimer, first-time head coach. All right, Dak, I hope you asked for this. But hey, I want good football players. Let's get it. David, even if a rental will be a cheap rental because of comp pick, the emotional dysregulation will be a lot to handle. That happens sometimes. What's left the Cowboys to do this offseason? We got to figure out who the slot corner is. But other than that, I feel like you're probably dancing with about what you got. You don't have to be done. There's still some things you could do. But you're about to dance with what you got. All right, join us for an hour of this on the DLS Cowboys podcast. It's coming up at 11 a.m. We got to get ready for Pilates. Got a wide receiver too, baby. Let's get it. Have a day. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everybody, including you, George Pickens, newest